Transferring from mouse and keyboard from controller is a very tough process, which can lead to multiple hours, days, or weeks of repetition to achieve. You have to not only acquire proficiency in the mouse control, in other words aiming, but also have to maintain that accuracy when moving, all while being able to utilize the core mechanics of the game such as abilities, grenades, healing, etc. But the funny thing is, most during this process forget to integrate one of the most important aspects that mouse and keyboard has to offer, and end up switching back when they realize that using your whole arm to aim isn't as easy as they thought. Because maximizing the use of your keyboard is just as important as aiming with a mouse. Now, speaking in terms of Apex, I still see players, even some streamers that claim to have made the switch, still using scroll wheel to swap weapons, as well as one button to heal and swap shields, rather than giving each its own dedicated keybind out of fear that they will fat finger the wrong button and lose the engagement. You see, when comparing the strengths of MnK to controller, the advantages of MnK comes with the ability to react faster than the opposing input. This can be in the form of movement, healing, or swapping weapons fast. This is why back buttons or using claw grip and controller is so advantageous, because it gives the player the ability to react faster without taking away the focus from tracking the target. So for MnK to even compete with its rival, it is very important to utilize every single advantage it has to offer. So that is why I created a routine to help accustom new MnK players to using multiple keys for primary functions, rather than just using the adjacent keys to WASD, and relying on one button to swap and use shields as well as one for swapping weapons. What this will do is replace previous habits with new responses, which lead to faster reaction times in engagements. For the first, we'll be focusing strictly on utilizing the keys 1 and 2 for weapon swapping, and as for the second, 3, 4, 5, and 6 and T when healing. Of course, these can be adjusted to whatever keys you want, just as long as you don't simplify them all to one button. Lastly, these two exercises can also be used for warm-up, being that I'll be purposely putting you in high-stress situations to help digest the new responses faster. So before we get started, if this video helped you out in some way, shape, or form, please drop a like. It's a small button for you, but it means the world to me. And sub if you're interested in more videos about aim training and theory. Now getting started, we're going to make our way to the firing range. Grab any two SMGs of choice, pick up a gold mag for maximum ammo capacity, as well as the chance to auto-reload when the weapon is stowed. You can also grab a purple stock for faster swap speed, but personally, I prefer to not have any attachments. As for customizing the range, first set the dummies to strafe to either constant or random, your preference of course, dummy shields to common, range to close, and difficulty to either normal or hard. If the dummies don't respond correctly, all you need to do is go to the customize range menu and select refresh dummies, which should fix the problem. Lastly, bind your weapons to 1 and 2, 1 being your primary and 2 being your secondary. Now you're probably asking yourself why I told you to choose common armor for the dummies. And if you didn't, well, I'm probably just going to tell you anyways. That is because it is not a tracking exercise, although warming up tracking is a side effect of it. The goal is to put all your focus on swapping your weapons after each knock, and a gold mag should be more than enough bullets to accomplish that goal in one beam. However, if you manage not to eliminate the target with a 27 to 26 bullet mag, I've got a video here dedicated to helping players with tracking, so check it out. And also, I'll leave a link on how you can read Braille in 3 easy steps in the comments.
But I cannot see, I'm legally blind.
I'm just joking, of course. But in all sincerity, if you're struggling with tracking, check out this video here. I definitely spent more than a couple weeks on it, and it should help you with getting better at your aiming fundamentals in Apex. But to get back on topic, if you can't finish off the opponent with your primary, immediately swap to your secondary to finish the job. You'll be performing this exercise for 5 minutes. Again, eliminate the enemy, swap to the secondary weapon, then eliminate the next target with the secondary. Rinse, wash, repeat. And if you didn't eliminate the target with your first mag, swap to your secondary and finish it off. On to our second exercise, which is high pressure healing. I made a short about this a couple months ago for the old firing range, and it is essentially the same idea. You'll first start by grabbing a gold bag and loading it up with shield cells, syringes, bats, medkits, and phoenix kits. Please try your best to distribute them evenly. Besides the phoenix kits, you could probably do with 1 or 2 of those and be fine. Then when that's sorted, grab yourself a red shield and proceed to unequip all your weapons. Finally, find 5 separate keys that your fingers can easily reach to then bind them to each survival item. Now surviving is the point of this exercise. We will not be attacking, you will be surviving first and foremost, utilizing and finding cover to pull off whatever survival item is necessary or most appropriate for the situation. To do this, we're going to go to customize range and change the dummies to combat and leave the spawn to close. This will provide high pressure situations which will require fast responses to get out of. Now, this will not replicate a live in-game scenario, because there is just no way in hell anyone can predict what an Octane would do after injecting heroin and going full potato when his 13-year-old teammate is most likely screeching, "He's one shot! He's one shot!" even though there are literally 5 teams in between the both of you. Because I definitely did not just get suicide knocked by an Octane earlier, and I am definitely not salty about it. Anyhow, let me digress. You'll be doing this exercise for 5 minutes straight as well, and that just about wraps things up, guys. I truly hope this helped in some way, shape, or form. If it did, please drop a like and consider subscribing so I can continue making more content like this for you guys, as well as quit a job that pays their employees with gift cards rather than actual money for overtime, because I can definitely use those to pay a 7% interest rate on my mortgage.
You're broke! You're f***ing poor!
Adulting, am I right? Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for sticking around to the end, and I'll see you next time. Peace.